Tutski.
When eccentric Texas actor Matthew McConaughey arrived 2 weeks into the shoot of legendary cinema provocateur Martin Scorsese's latest movie about American greed and excess, he came prepared to play ball for just that one scene.
They'll bring us 2 absolute martinis.
His role,
And then precisely 7½ minutes after that, you're gonna bring us 2 more.
was to be a gatekeeper and pseudo-prophet for the naive protagonist into this strange new world of high finance.
2 more after that every 5 minutes until one of us passes the out.
Explaining the rules of the con.
Name of the game? Move the money from your client's pocket into your pocket.
What McConaughey brought to the character set the tone for the rest of the shoot and maybe the movie itself.
Okay, if you're Warren Buffett or if you're Jimmy Buffett, nobody knows if the stock is gonna go up, down, sideways, or in circles.
A movie about upward mobility in America.
Enough of this will make you invincible.
Not just keeping up with or exceeding the Joneses,
Able to conquer the world
but burying them
and eviscerate your enemies.
in equal parts envy and revulsion.
It was obscene. In the normal world. I mean, who the wanted to live there?
Hello, I'm your Screen Jockey Justin Neal, and I sat next to my mother in the theater as an adult when this was released. Just like I had 16 years before with James Cameron's Titanic when I was a teenager. Another 3-hour epic with Leonardo DiCaprio. But this time, we watched him using a straw to blow Hollywood pick-me-up into a woman's lower intestine like a Long Island Caligula.
You like it?
You could have heard a pin drop in that theater, and I was by far the first one to laugh.
When you get really good at it, you'll be stroking it and you'll be thinking about money.
This was pure dark comedy.
Second key to success in this racket is this little baby right here. It's called cocaine.
And I love dark comedy.
It'll also help your fingers dial faster.
Turbocharged in high school with cult films like Very Bad Things,
He'll bleed out.
Fight Club,
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
and American Psycho.
Human.
No, I'm in touch with humanity.
My love of satire finally reached a crescendo in 2013 with the greed and addiction epic The Wolf of Wall Street,
Chester Ming, the depraved Chinaman, thought jujitsu was in Israel.
the holy grail of dark comedy.
I called him Rugrat because of his piece of hairpiece.
With 5 Oscar nominations and $450 million worldwide, it became Scorsese's biggest movie to date. It's so morally depraved that he went off and made the Jesuit drama Silence to torture himself as penance afterwards.
I mean, look at you, you're a bunch of sleazy salesmen, right?
It's a movie of conflicting facets, just like the book it's based on.
They get launched at the target, they stick.
Both hilarious and shocking.
Whoever gets closer to the dollar sign gets the most points.
Exhilarating
Tell their client
and exhausting.
either buys
Astonishing
or
and obscene. It's a movie that set a Guinness World Record for the most use of profanity.
We do blow all the time, we're degenerates ourselves. Look at us, right?
And at the time, everyone was shocked that a 71-year-old Catholic would make a 3-hour debauch opera.
I like it, ow!
The Basketball Diaries meets Wall Street.
Wolfie, 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 Wolfie.
It's Goodfellas for a new generation.
Get the out of here. It's my safe
I don't
word.
give a about your safe word.
Oh, come on!
A gangster film as comedy.
Shut up, you little
And it was definitely reprimanded by the finger waggers that didn't approve of the cult leaders,
You're a fucking dirty little birdie!
his acolytes, their behavior, or their gospel of greed,
We don't give 2 about how technology works,
irresponsibility,
because all we care about is getting rich.
and predatory injustice.
Sound fair enough?
This is the story of The Wolf of Wall Street.
The year I turned 26 as the head of my own brokerage firm, I made $49 million, which really pissed me off because it was 3 shy of $1 million a week.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen,
Practically an advertisement for Quaaludes and white-collar prostitution.
that greed
Jordan Belfort's 2007 memoir is mostly concerned with the early 90s rise and fall of Stratton Oakmont,
for lack of a better word,
boiler room sweatshop out on Long Island
is good.
that marketed penny stocks and defrauded investors
Greed is right.
with pump and dump stock sales,
Greed works.
over which he was indicted for securities fraud and money laundering in 1999.
Greed in all of its forms.
He pled down to financial restitution and 4 years in prison,
Greed for life, for money,
for which he did 22 months.
for love, knowledge.
Afterwards becoming a motivational speaker and author on the advice of his cellmate Tommy Chong. Soon after its publication, the autobiography was subject to a bidding war that was ultimately won by Warner Brothers and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Thank you very much.
With the intention of him starring.
To celebrate with our weekly act of debauchery.
Adapting duties were given to TV writer and Emmy Award winner of The Sopranos, Terence Winter.
I have offered our lovely sales assistant, Danielle Harrison here,
As usual,
$10,000 to shave a f***ing head!
characters, events, and locations are changed or combined to cram as much as possible into what became a 4-hour first cut.
No, everything's fine. Hey, listen, I quit.
Danny Porish, the real Donnie Azoff, said, "The book is a distant relative of the truth, and the film is a distant relative of the book."
Then were these rumors.
A theme completely cut from the book is a large chip on Jordan's shoulder for being Jewish and nouveau riche amongst the waspy aristocracy of upper-crust New York society,
Boom shot.
whom he really can't stand
So I was selling them.
Fuego.
and think have terrible taste in most things.
Their money was better off in my pocket. I knew how to spend it better.
But with Leo aboard, that's a lot harder to pull off, and I can imagine that detail getting dropped pretty quick. Another omitted detail is his major back problems.
I take Quaaludes 10 to 15 times a day for my back pain.
This is about the only time it's shown, but it was a big deal in the book.
Ow! It's that slip disc thing again.
I know what it is, too much with EJ Entertainment.
Winter turned in his assignment and DiCaprio brought it to Martin Scorsese, someone he'd worked with several times since Gangs of New York.
Your mouth all glued up with juice. I asked you a question.
I said I seen it, sir.
Oh, you got a murderous rage in you, and I like it.
Scorsese was interested in the project until September 2008.
They called it Black Monday.
When the global financial crisis caused the studio to deem the production too expensive.
By 4 p.m., the market had dropped 508 points.
Too druggy.
The biggest plummet since the crash of '29.
Too raunchy.
Holy.
Too risky. And the dynamic duo turned their immediate attention to making the neo-noir Shutter Island.
There's just this.
Which I like very much.
Can my violence conquer yours?
Apparently, Leo couldn't tie another director down to the Wolf Project until he hooked up with Red Granite Pictures, which was co-founded by the stepson of the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
He's bad!
What? He and producing partner Joey McFarlane bought the rights from Warner's on Leo's behalf, with the intention of putting 0 content restrictions on the material and full creative control to the filmmaker, whoever that would be, which is practically unheard of in the industry. Control is the last thing people with money like to give up. It was under these new conditions that Martin Scorsese was reapproached by everyone involved.
Something just came across my desk, John.
He wanted to make Silence first, but there wasn't money for Silence yet. Money for Wolf was ready.
Now, right now, John, your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
First this, then Silence.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
Scorsese signed on soon after.
So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good, pick up the phone and start dialing. I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich.
Jordan was a motivator. He wanted people that worked for him to live beyond their means. So when they came to work the next day, they had to work twice as hard to pay for things they couldn't afford, rather than be conservative and responsible with their paychecks. Jordan kept Strattonites in line with fear.
Spectacle of fearsome acts.
This is what happens when you with your pets on New Issue Day.
But mostly fear of turning the taps off.
I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every time.
They're making it rain, and money can really, in their minds, buy them freedom.
You know what? Who gives a As always, the point is this.
In addition to being obsessed with money, Jordan was addicted to sex and ingested enough drugs to make Hunter S. Thompson sit up and listen.
On a daily basis, I consume enough drugs to sedate Manhattan, Long Island, and Queens for a month.
It was even more than that in real life.
Basically addicted to anything a human being could become addicted to.
So the challenge is to show that honestly, without tipping the scales into judgment.
The book is more apologetic than the movie, with sympathy relying almost entirely on Leonardo DiCaprio's charm in the film.
You want to be my friend?
We're not gonna be friends.
But the movie goes where it wants. It never really lets us get settled.
You're all right. We all love you. Shut the f*** up.
It's a Scorsese specialty. See Goodfellas and Casino. And it's difficult to do for 3 whole hours.
You're free to go.
Relying heavily on the improv of the cast and editing flair of longtime collaborator Thelma Schoonmaker.
They get together and they gossip.
It's a good point.
And the last thing that we need is them getting together and saying, oh, listen, they made fun of us. Like, it's going to make Stratton look bad.
That's why I love you.
Other than the blueprint they're all working from, perhaps the most important element of a dark comedy
Robbie Feinberg, the Pinhead, took 5 years to finish high school.
is the talent tasked with pulling it off.
Is that a raincoat? Yes, it is.
Do you get me?
Not really, no.
The movie changes tone constantly, but it's Leo's voiceover that guides us through the manic nature of the story.
I know you're not following what I'm saying anyway, right? That's okay, that doesn't matter.
With the character often breaking the fourth wall.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
He even goes full Charlie Chaplin, crawling out to the White Countach, stoned out of his gourd on lemon 714s.
When it comes to Quaaludes, the Lemon 714 was the holy grail.
It's one of the great comedic moments in modern American cinema. I mean, look at that. Magnificent. But anyway.
They're like the Mona Lisa. They find eye contact like wherever you're standing in the room.
Jonah Hill is one of the great standouts of the movie.
$22 million in 3 hours!
With his total commitment to going full sleazeball.
Oh my God, you want to marry me? You're in love with me?
Yeah, go your cousin.
I'm not going to let someone else my cousin. You know, if anyone's going to my cousin, it's going to be me out of respect, you know.
He agreed to work for scale.
You know what? If you're happy, God bless you, buddy.
Which is only $60,000.
No, I'm not happy. No one is married is happy.
The lowest amount the Screen Actors Guild allows.
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy.
His character Donnie becomes the catalyst for arguably the worst of the film's behavior.
You got me a present?
It's fine. He's got to go out back.
In the movie, they use this as a chance to introduce the drugs.
What's the crack with me, bro?
Of which use there is a lot of, and they push the envelope further than any major movie in modern times.
Let's run like we're lions and tigers and bears!
They used crushed B vitamins to simulate cocaine, and Jonah snorted so much of it one day he got poisoning from it, and they had to shoot other stuff.
Jesus Christ, I think you have a drug problem.
The breakout star of the piece
I'm a mutt.
is Australian actress Margot Robbie.
And you're a mutt.
Better known now as Barbie.
And I would just like to inform you, I do not have a vagina.
Who catapulted to stardom thanks to her own commitment to the role.
There were 2 guys over there on the table. There were more over here. There were 4 right here.
And the fact that she is downright stunning on screen.
I would let that girl give me AIDS.
She shines in every scene she's in.
Wake up, you piece of
With the face of an angel and the mouth of a Brooklyn dock worker.
Who? What are you, now? Who is she?
And also a line in Michael Mann's Heat.
Who? Are you an owl?
Her character could easily have become a wallflower.
You're a lying piece of
But she looks like she's going to throw that glass any second.
Don't you Duchess me.
It's through her character that we're also graced with the presence of British legend Joanna Lumley.
Into the donuts, I see.
Who was both smoking hot in the 70s British TV show The New Avengers and hilarious in the 90s TV show Absolutely Fabulous, which my older sister was a fan of.
You know, the secret is, Eddie, is you've got to hire people while they're still in awe of you, treat them like and then sack them before they despise you.
Several directors also make appearances, including Being John Malkovich as Spike Jonze.
If you sell $10,000 worth of this stock, I will personally give you a blowjob for free.
Iron Man's Jon Favreau.
Piss up the SEC's leg, you end up with your tits in a ringer.
And this is Spinal Tap's Rob Reiner.
Hello, my name is Marty DeBerge. I was born too early.
I've never been a fan of the Bush, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
What do you say?
You mean to tell me that if I put you in at Union Carbide at a 7 and took you out at 32?
Jordan's band of merry pranksters are also cast for their flavor and encouraged to flesh them out as fully as possible.
Alden Kupferberg, the Sea Otter, didn't even graduate.
Each of them stand out in their own way, and editor Thelma Schoonmaker makes the best of what they give her.
Let them watch. Let them watch.
With Jordan Belfort as Tyler Durden, they are his space monkeys.
Ready to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
On the opposing side of the penal code is FBI agent Denham, played with quiet intelligence by Emmy Award winner Kyle Chandler.
Can you say that again?
just the way you said.
Who just a few years before had really stood out to me as the father in J.J. Abrams' Spielbergian childhood thriller Super 8.
I've got nothing against your friends. I like your friends. Except for Carrie, who can't seem to stop lighting things on fire.
Because Scorsese famously doesn't like to shoot outside of New York State, pretty much the whole movie is shot there, even the stuff set in Europe. With Scorsese's longtime collaborator Robert Richardson shooting Django Unchained with Quentin Tarantino, he turned to cinematographer Rodrigo Prieto. The movie was shot as a hybrid of Arri Alexa digital and 35mm film footage, with the digital cameras used primarily for night shooting and effect shots, of which there were 400 total and cost $4 million.
You have my money taped to your tits. Okay, technically you do work for me.
Digital compositing and touch-ups had also become so good that you could dress the entire exterior of a set in post-production. A townhome in New York City became a townhome in London like that. Need to anchor down from an idyllic Italian seaside town? They shot it in a warehouse and stitched the town together from different examples up and down the Italian Riviera. The most expensive set piece was the yacht lost at sea off the coast of Italy. They're on the way to Monaco and hit some choppy water.
You don't know about chop.
Oh, really? And you do?
I'll chop your credit card in half. How about that?
This is actually a combination of two different events in the book, but one way or another, it all happened, including being rescued by the Italian Coast Guard. But like any rise to infamy, it all comes crashing down.
You gotta be joking.
And it ends with exile, just like in Casino and Goodfellas.
Turn that camera off.
All right, Sonny, that's enough. Just pipe that in.
This is a warning, a cautionary tale, not a how-to guide. But apparently it became an unintended mass recruitment tool for Wall Street the same way Top Gun did for the Navy back in the 80s.
Because I was inverted.
Bullshit. This is a movie about predators. I love dark comedy, and the best ones actually make you think about some heavy themes. But anyone who takes this as a lifestyle goal is missing the point entirely. Like when Scarface became gospel in the late 90s with the Get Rich or Die Trying slogan, marking practically an entire genre of pop culture.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
The Wolf of Wall Street is not aspirational, it's ridiculous. It's a satire about capitalist apex predators, but not everyone likes that, especially if you're the victim. The film was reprimanded by society's hall monitors. No one in the film comes in and gives a big Western liberal speech denouncing this all as morally reprehensible, thereby allowing the audience to feel better about themselves. This doesn't give them that, and they end up feeling somehow complicit in the characters' actions. It's a movie that can cause cognitive dissonance in its audience, and I love that. How is that even possible? A lot has changed since this film came out, and I'm interested to know what everyone else thinks about it. But one last thing.
You want a beer, pal?
What are you drinking?
I got this non-alcoholic.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think down in the comments.
If you drink a lot, they get you f***ed up.
And please pass it around. We're trying to grow grassroots style, and we really need your help to share it.
I don't drink anymore.
So give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Oh, you want to go inside and blow some lines of baking powder?
And check out the rest of my video essays.
Can't imagine Evan not enjoying getting f***ed up.
Plus all the movie podcast episodes Lawler and I have done over the past 2 years.
That sound f***ing awesome or what?
They're under the Back to the Podcast playlist.
How's being sober?
F***ing sucks.
And with that, from all of us at Screen Jockeys to all of you out there wherever you are, just remember, the light at the end of the tunnel may be you. Now go watch a good movie.